Welcome, 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 welcome. Can you guys believe it? Number 94. Some of the people that were here watching. Maddie Ray, she's in the house. Ashley, you guys were watching way back, episode 20, 25, 30. Special show tonight. I just always love seeing fresh blood, new talent. This one's a student on steroids to the 10th power, baby. I've known Brittney Scott is a student at Summit Salon Academy, Tampa, Florida. Down there, they're making big boom, boom all the way. And she is, I got to tell you about her. Before I bring her up to tell the story, she's 21, right? Just on-ramping. Mother was in the business for many, many moons, nail tech. Grandmother owned a beauty salon, so kind of grew up like a lot of us, right? Second, third, fourth generation. Hands were in the hair since she was 8, so she knew that it was her calling. She's cutting hair, she's coloring hair, she's braiding hair. And this is like, what is that? 8th grade, what are we, like, 5th grade? 4th, 5th, 6th grade? So she decides to go to community college, and she pursues some other stuff. And she says, you know what, I want to get enrolled. And she just decides that hair was just her calling. So she does that. And then she's in the game. She hits the floor at Summit Salon Academy in Jan 2017, which is like a year ago today. And her growth has been nothing short of unprecedented. So January, she hits level 1. March, she hits level 2. May, she hits level 3. July, she hits level 4. Now, in the typical school today, you're, really fast tracking. If you can get to 1,500 hours on level 4, you're like making big boom, boom, big time, right? So they create a level 4 in September, level 5. End of December, like last month, she hits a level that's never been hit before, level 6. And so she is like in the game big time. I think that deserves a round of applause. Just that. So, like everybody on the show, that is, she's mastering, her hairdressing skills, her guest handling skills. We all know today that other set of skills called mobile, digital, we're even working on the next working, Mary and I, on the social digital, top 20 salon professional. Age 14, she's hanging out on a smartphone. She's on Instagram at 15. She's hanging out today on an iPhone 7 Plus Max. She's doing about 8 guests a week in school. She's doing probably 4 or 5 photo shoots. She posts every picture that she takes. You can find her on, first and foremost, she's an Instagrammer. Beauty by Brittney, Nicole, and she's also on Facebook as well. So, that's what makes Brit. So I thought what we always do is always like to bring our guest on, talk a little bit about their life, and then she's going to share a couple best practices with us. So without any further ado, let me just see if I can pray that the IT gods are working for us tonight. And there she is. Give it up for Miss Brittney. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. You were in the green room. Was I heaping enough accolades on you?
Of course, thank you. You had great things to say.
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for being with us tonight, Brittney. It's this is history because there's been nobody that I know of that has gotten to the level that you have gotten into. A very short period of time. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
In your climb. So let's first of all start like we always start with your story. What was your life like, growing up and before you decide that you're going to pursue hair?
I've always loved to color. From the time I can remember, I've always been wanting to color hair, and between my grandmother and my friends and my sister, I just always wanted to do it. So that I always kind of felt like I had a good hang on. And after I graduated high school in 2014, I did decide to go to a community college. And after a couple years, I just realized that I just wasn't happy. At the moment I was checked out. And I made the decision in January of 2000, it might have actually been like March of 2016, to go to beauty school, and Summit was the first school I saw, and I knew that's where I wanted to go.
So I'm curious, there's a lot of schools in that community in Tampa. I've been hanging out there for many moons. You chose Summit Salon Academy. Was there any particular thing you saw as you went in that said, you know what, this is where I want to this is where I want to begin?
Yes, when I walked in, it was very trendy, first of all, and everybody was very polite. And just walking through the door, I said alone, I'm like, this is a great place. Like, it's beautiful. It looks nice. It's very welcoming. And then as we got on with the tour, I loved all the business aspect side of it, because not all cosmetology schools teach you that.
Yeah.
They just teach you the basics and then push you out into the world.
Right, like your first couple of 100 hours, as you're kind of on-ramping the technical stuff and the guest handling. Of course, they show you the charts and how you can progress in school and how that pertains in your life. So I'm sure that was inspiring as well. So
yes,
you're in school now, and in your own words, like what made the difference for you? I mean, like what kind of got your juices going there?
Well, once I hit the floor, it was actually January 16th. I remember, like it was yesterday. It was January 16th of 2017. And I just kept, I was nervous, like I'm sure everybody is. I was scared to do my first client. And I hit the floor and I'm like, I have to do it. If I'm going to do it, I need to do it right. And that just means that I need to give it my all, because otherwise, what's the point? If you're not going to give it everything that you have, why waste your time? Right. And then by February 13th, I think it was, I had already met my goals for 2 months, that I already knew that I was jumping to a level 2. And after the first time I jumped, I'm like, there's no going back now. And then every month after that, meeting with my team leader, she's like, you're setting such high standards for yourself. Like, there's no way you're going to have a month that you're falling behind, because I'm not going to let you. And I never did. I always thought, I did second guess myself a little bit in the months, like, oh man, I only made it to this far. How am I going to make it that much more? And I just always did. I always made it.
Oh yeah. And those that are really familiar with the Summit Salon Academy, I mean, to just get to level 4 in a 1,500-hour window of time, you can't be messing around. You have to really stay focused, because you're qualifying this month to jump next month, and the month after that but you got to those 4 levels. The 5th level, I think that's when I really met you. I believe it was somewhere in the front end, or you just hit the 5th level.
It was the day that they, like our jump party, that they had announced it.
And then all of a sudden, there's a conversation that's never been had before. I think you can count on 2 or 3 fingers to people that hit 5. You're at 1,000 hours with 500 to go, or a little bit over that, and you're at level 6 now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And so, I said to you, I wanted to put on your PowerPoint, Brittney, let's go to level 7. And you went, no, we don't, I don't know that they're even.
Well, just because I'm like, wow, because every month that went by, I'm like, okay, this is what I need to meet this month, and this is what I need to meet next month, just to make sure I get there. So I'm like, wait a second, we don't have a level 7. And I remember speaking with my educator. She was my team leader, is actually my basics educator as well. And I remember speaking with her from the very beginning about it. She was very open with what there was. I did not know about a level 6, but I knew that there were level goals 4 of 5.
Right.
And that's when she was like, no, you can make it to a level 6. And it threw me for a loop at that point, because I'm like, I didn't even know. And she's like, of course, you have to go somewhere. You have to do it. Right. And, once she said that, I'm like, of course I do.
Yeah. Well, there's a community of people now that are really supporting you to see, let's just see how much we can continue bettering your best. So it's like Godspeed to your journey. Now, there's another question I want to ask, and what is it like for you now? Like you're at 6 with a few hundred hours left. What's that experience like for you?
It's nice to know. Like, it's a very it feels good inside to know that I've accomplished that, and accomplished something that's never been done before. I love the confidence that I have. When I think back to my first day, it was a zone 1, and I was terrified to do that. Even though I've been coloring hair forever, I was still so terrified to go out on the floor and do it. And just to see the confidence, like I can feel the confidence shift in myself.
Right. Well, yeah, I think it's,
know.
it's the achieving, it's getting to the level, and then it's what that striving causes you to become. And so you're just really enjoying. There's newness coming through to me. I'm tapping potential that I didn't know I have, and it's a glorious experience to have, and it's glorious to watch people like you reach for those levels. So keep on striving. Right?
Thank you. I definitely didn't come, like January of last year, I definitely didn't see myself here today.
Well, I can tell by your eyeballs are like, you're lit up, right? The other thing I wanted to ask is, I'm sure people watching is, okay, so where does Brittney go from here? In Brittney's mind at 21, what's the future hold for you, short and midterm?
I don't know. I know I want to obviously go into a salon, and I've had a couple people ask me to go to a couple different salons. So it just kind of, whatever will feel the most right in the moment is what it's easy to say I'm going to go here, here, and here.
Right.
But, I need to go there and I need to feel it because if I'm not comfortable, nobody else is going to be comfortable.
Right, right. Well, more will be revealed, right? More will be revealed. Yeah. Now, you're at 1,000+ hours, and there's like in that same building you're in. There's a group of students with 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, 10 hours. They're sitting in the room with no windows that you were in, a few hundred hours ago, and scared and gee, did I do the right thing? And all sorts of stuff going on in our head. What's your last word for them? What might you say to them that would give them, inspiration and vision and hope to just like get on the track that you're on?
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to take chances, to take risks. Don't let your fear dictate your decisions. Because I remember being very scared. And there are times that I'm not always 100% confident. I know that there's still a lot that I need to learn, but I'm a lot more confident than what I was.
Very cool. Well, we've got probably 5-6 more minutes with you, and I want to get you talking about, so what is it that you're doing, right, on a daily basis in school when you're with guests that's really kind of, causing this phenomenal growth. So, when I was interviewing you, I was asking you stuff like, how does social media work for you? And when, how does that conversation begin when the guest is in your chair? And what does that look like from your perspective?
When they sit down, I ask them, and I always stand in front of them so that we're facing each other, so that they don't feel any less than, I don't want to talk to them through a mirror. And I ask them, I say, are you okay with me taking a photo before and after? And, I don't think I've ever had anybody say no, because it's kind of exciting for them to know. It kind of shows them that I have confidence in myself, that I know that it's going to come out, their hair is going to come out good, and that I'm going to want to document it after.
Yeah, I think now the photography part, whether we're taking before or after pictures, has become a new experience for guests. So they come in anticipating it, looking forward to it. So it's not as awkward now as it was 3 months ago, never mind a year ago, and I think you're probably finding that to be the case.
Yes.
So now you bring them through the process, and I'm going to be showing some of your before and after pictures after the interview, and you're done. How do you get them from the chair? I've been in the school many times. There's now an environment, a kiosk with, where you're taking after pictures. What's that conversation look like? How do you on-ramp that?
I would normally say, do you mind stepping over here so we can take your after photo? Or so we can do a mini photo shoot. I make them feel like I need them to be excited about it in order for it to work, good. Right,
right. And so how many times would you engage a guest in a photo session where at the end they're curious, they want to see the pictures that you took, and then in some way, shape, or form, they're asking you for them, and how do you get them from your mobile device to them, and how many of them, upload them their own, those pictures now on one of their pages, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, and what's that look like and sound like from your mind's eye?
I always say, I'll be sure to send you these photos afterwards. And a lot of them do post on their social media pages as well.
And so when they do that, do you make it a point to just stay close to those pictures that they post to see what kind of engagement they get?
Yes, I do.
Is there any kind of time where you would follow up with a guest, either making a comment or expressing any kind of acknowledgement of what they did? And if so, what's that sound like?
I almost always will follow up with a guest, especially if I have their personal phone number. And I always ask them a couple days later, how are you loving your hair? And I always get the response, it's great, thank you so much. I never expected it to be as great as it is, or, I love it. Everybody, I'm getting compliments from everybody.
Wonderful. So, Brittney, before we sign off, there's something I'm just really moved to ask you. You grew up in that era of digital and social, and you had a mobile 13, 14, and you're on Instagram at 15. So this is kind of a natural. You're known as a kind of a native. But there are many, many, many people that have been in the business 5, 10, 15, 20 years that wasn't the way, and all of a sudden they're kind of they're waking up to, whoa, this is my new reality. I need to start, kind of learning this, but they're frightened. So in a nutshell, is there anything you might just say to them that might, give them the security, the inspiration, the courage that they would need to go through the learning curve? Because you're on the other side of it now, and maybe there's something you might be able to say or offer them.
Of course. Actually, a lot of the hairstylists in the salon that my mom works in, I talk to them about it. I just ask them, why don't you post pictures?
Oh, I love that. So when go into where your mother works, she works in a salon environment, these people, so you're there giving them encouragement that, why don't you post, and just kind of nudging them along, kind of helping them to get into the pool.
Correct.
All right. Well, listen, we're right there. So we're out of time. However, you're going to stay a blip on our radar. That when you graduate, and sooner or later you're done with school, and later always comes sooner than we think. We want to stay close to you. We, on the back end of this year, or maybe the front end of next year, want to check in with you, have you back on the show, and really, get the next chapter in your ride. It's kind of fun to watch you.
That would be amazing. Thank you.
All right. Wonderful. So let's give it up one more time for Ms. Brittney. You did good. Say hi to all my friends at Summit Salon Academy Tampa, and we'll be talking soon.
Of course.
All right. I'm going to get back to work. I'll talk to you in a bit. Give it up for one more time, you guys. That was, I mean, think about it. 21 years old, and she's very much in the game. I wanted to show you just some of her work. Right, still in school. I want to bring my thing back up here in a second, so that there's a couple of shots that I wanted you to see, in how she does her work. Here we go. So, before, after picture, 1,000 hours in, you guys. This is like, $150 look in the real world. So, and she just continues to, make that happen. So this is at 1,000 hours in. And if somebody like that can continue to evolve and learn, we all can. So thank you very much, Brittney, for being that. And then, as she says, that she follows up on making sure that anytime the guest either posts a selfie or takes a picture that she gave them and uploads it. Thank you for allowing me to do your hair. I had so much fun getting to change up your look. And I look forward to seeing you. So it's basics now. Now it's become basic. It's become part of our chairside manner. The guest experience is as much of the social digital photo shoot as it is, in traditional consultation in how we serve people. So it's just a wonderful show. Thanks again, Brittney, and give it up for her one more time. So if you're new to us, we want to welcome you to our community. It's ever growing. We're now, as of this week, we cracked the 50,000 followers on the Summit over the top Facebook page community. So I just love that. Let's give it up. And we have a lot of alumni watching. Sandy Yaki, who was a guest on the show a few weeks ago. And we just have a number of people tonight that came in. My friend Randy Kunkel's in the house, Cassie Carter, Tasha Porter. So thanks for hanging out with us. And if you are new to us, go ahead and not just like, but save the page, because we're video blogging daily. We're on now a lot of private and secret group pages. So there are, salon-centric sales consultants and state and RDA distributor sales consultants who have communities of their very involved partners on their pages. Myself, Randy Kunkel, we do now video tutorials almost on a daily basis to help people in those communities. So inquire with your sales consultant about how you can become part of their community. I'm also on Instagram, blogging daily, Michael Cole, BGTD, as in boom goes the dynamite. If you are, again, new to us, you're going to want to start really camping out on summitsalon.com. And there's a lot of different pages and places to go there. Start navigating that website, because there's a whole bunch of really cool stuff. A lot of it is at no charge. All of the Facebook interviews that I've done in the last couple of years, this was our 94th. If you go to summitsalon.com/MC Live, it'll take you to the YouTube pages of every interview we've done, in order from the newest all the way down to the originals. And that's all been curated for you, so you don't have to go on archaeological digs for that as well. Now, while you're there, there's all kinds of other pages you can be hanging out at. If you scroll down the front page, you'll get to Salon Calculators. We now have certain calculators that help you to not only set yearly goals, but automatically break it down to the day. So we take it from by the yard, it's hard, by the inch, it's a cinch. So these are all of the ways of getting to those pages. Play with the calculators. They're simple and they're practical, and they help you to really kind of stay focused. Also, if you go into the product page, you're going to see our planner, who has now become not only as much about guest planning and setting up for our next guest, but this has become a new tool for knowing how many units of time, windows of time, we want to fill up with social media tomorrow, this week, next week, and for the month. So if you haven't watched those YouTubes, they're vitally important. And then over the top is our classic. And, I'm just to give you a little secret here. Mary and I continue to work on the 4th and last revision, which will be blowing it off the top, blowing it up, right? We'll keep you abreasted there as well. The tracker is a little blue rainbow, and now we measure what we track. All this stuff is for free, you guys. It's for absolutely free. So get on the .com and start playing with that. And then before we say goodnight, I always like to end it with gratitude. This is L'Oreal Professional Product Division. This is all their brands. They make tremendous financial contributions to the Summit Salon business community, and it's that financial resource that allows us to continue to evolve and be the go-to place that people plug into in the salon to earn a better living, live a better life. Also wanted to thank Salon-Centric, State, and RDA, which are the partner distributors and are owned by the company. So thank you to all of the people there, whether you're a store manager, a district sales manager, a regional manager, a salon-centric sales consultant, a distributor sales consultant. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And then last but not least, Summit Salon Business Center, SSBC. I'm a co-founder. Once upon a time, it was a glimmer in my eye, Randy Kunkel. Mary Cole, Sharon Kunkel, David Kirby, Heather Bagby, Peter Mahoney, Glenn Baker. I mean, it goes on and on and on. We just have just under 100 coaches now. So thank you to that, because they continue to support and evolve the work. So there you have it. Great show tonight. Join us next week. Got a special guest in from Portland, Oregon, Miss Elizabeth, from Anastasia. So we're looking forward to that. So without any further ado, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.